through the final corner using the shortest run to the line. Goes into P2. What about fzrracingleague? 2.1 up, is that going to be even further? Yes, he goes on to provisional pole. Venzi's on a lap. Who is that Alpine? Jean-Claude goes into second place. Who's that Alpine? That's Massacrator going round the final corner. And then we've got a Red Bull. I think that's Chris's Pilacoris or Alex Lansdale. I believe it's going to be Alex Lansdale. Massacrator up to the line, goes into P3. Alex Lansdale, surely this is a provisional pole for him. No, P2 only. What about the Alpine and the McLaren? The McLaren of Raxi goes back onto provisional pole. Dom goes into P2. Rick Van Bokhoven, is he coming into pit lane? No, he's going to finish this lap and go into P6. It's all changing at the end here. Vojtazluva's crashing across the line. It's P13 only for him. Chris's Pilacoris P11 only for him. Antonio Bove is done in P9. Jambo is in the pit lane. Raxi, despite the change in positions, still on pole by about 2.5 tenths. This is going to be a good one. Punctures to be expected. The silence breaks and the battle begins. Raxi gets away well once again, as we've seen so often this season. Venzi, though, is challenging Dom into turn number 1. Alex Lansdale's going to have a look as well. Down the inside, they're going 3 wide, and Alex Lansdale turned round at the first corner. Venzi does look to get through, as we've got a car park in the first corner. What on earth has happened there between all of those drivers? Vojtazluva getting an even worse start than he did in qualifying, as he's looking to go round the outside here of numerous cars. I think Atom's getting involved as well on the back of Jambo, but we don't want to get involved into a collision down the inside. Vojtazluva does go on the Alpine, just about making it stick, and he's going to get in under traction into Lesmo 1. So does Ryan. I mean, Atom into Lesmo 1 as well. And Vojtazluva up into P11 after that horrendous start. She's going to try to go around the outside, but he's cut that off nicely, as we've got moves ahead between Jean-Claude and fzrracingleague. Rick Van Bokhoven and Chris's Pilacoris, the two fzrracingleague guys swapping places. Chris's Pilacoris up into P6, so not a bad start from him. Alex Lansdale getting past Jambo after he was spun round. He was running up in P3, I believe, as Venzi and Dom side by side through the second chicane, and Dom has still got that move, as he is already well onto the back of fzrracingleague. But there's a move for the lead here between Dom and Raxi. Venzi also trying it down the inside of the McLaren. A little bit of contact between the front two, and Venzi just has to keep P3 at the moment, but Chris's Pilacoris is looking to capitalise on this. Who's got the most battery out of the two? I think Venzi has at the moment, but this could get dangerous into the second chicane. Chris's does the smart thing and backs off. Antonio Bove being overtaken by Massacrator, but he's having none of that, braking nice and late. Bit of contact between the two though, and he's pushed off into the grass. Antonio's not going to be happy about that one, I can tell already. Rick Van Bokhoven and Ricky Bobby has got the better traction on that one. A little bit of contact between these two as well, but it's hard racing. And at the moment, just about clean between Rick and Antonio. Hold the phone, Venzi and Chris's Pilacoris. Contact between the two. And that's allowed Ben Mills to fly through. And fzrracingleague. That was naughty between those two. That's not what you want to see. There we go. Poor exit though from Massacrator. You saw he had a little wobble on the exit. Which side is he going to go? Vojtazluva. They're going to surround Rick Van Bokhoven, and it's going to be 2 moves in once. Is it for Vojtazluva? He's going to try go for it on the Alpine, but he has to stay behind. He's not going to be happy about that, as Anonymous gets past Jean-Claude there as well. Bit more comfortable gap though for Raxi now on the back of Dom. It was hovering around that second margin, but now he's got it back to within half a second. Vojtazluva now finally gets past Massacrator. Very late on the brakes there. Going on here, Antonio's going to have a fantastic view of this as these guys go side by side. Are they going to go side by side into the second chicane? Well, by Jove, they are. And I'll tell you what, that's great racing from the two of them. Antonio's got better traction though. Which side he's going to pick? He's going to choose the inside into Lesmo 1. Is he going to get at least one car out of it? No, not quite. Good defending. What can Chris and Vojta realistically get out of this race? Can they challenge back up to the top guys. Vojta's challenge, I think, is going to be to get past those cars that Chris's have just come behind there, the two Williams. On the medium, it's going to be tough, but now Vojta also has to get past Anonymous in the Aston Martin. I hope the Massacrator doesn't get past him here, which he does not. So it's a big challenge for vojtazluva. Not as hard of a challenge for Chris's Pilakaris, but Ben Mills also on one lap old medium. So Ben Mills is in a fantastic place to try catch up to these top three. Oh my goodness me. Oh my goodness me. 3 wide into Parabolica, guys. Who's going to make it out alive? Raxi from P3. Is he going to make the move into the lead? This is, oh, there's a half spin on the house, but I don't know how he's kept that still going and is still within the DRS of the top guys. Oh my goodness me. Venzi retakes the lead of the race, but that was nearly full spin from Dom after contact with Raxi. Raxi's giving a slipstream to Chris's Pilakaris over Dom. Round the outside, can he go? He's getting squeezed right to the edge of the track, but that is good racing from Chris's and Dom there, but Dom just about gets the traction compared to the mediums, which will start to be fading at the moment. Has Chris's saved more battery? He's off into the grass. I think there's a little bit of lag there, and Ben Mills has swept through and got himself up into the podium places. Chris's Pilakaris affected there by the stutter of Dom. He's going to chuck it down the inside in Lesmo 1, is he? Yes, he is. A little bit of contact between the two. And I think Chris's has finally got that move on the Haas driver. Coming on to the final lap. Is it going to be Raxi taking victory again? He's certainly very close to the back of Venzi. He's going to be using everything he's got. He's got pretty much a full charge. He's going to go side by side with Venzi into turn number 1. But he's got the car stopped nicely. And into the braking zone. Raxi takes the lead on the final lap of the race. It's looking like Chris's Pilakaris won't be able to advance any further in this race unless he can get a bit more battery than Venzi, and it looks like he has. You know, he's going over the grass onto the inside. He's going to brake as late as he possibly can down the inside. Venzi's been forced off onto the off road and he's kept that place in P2. That's going to be interesting in the stewards room, who was ahead there and who had the right to room, as we've got a Sauber there in the way, but luckily nobody collides there. 10-second time penalty for Venzi. That should be removed. We'll have to wait and see in the stewards room. But after 27 laps, and to be honest, Raxi at some points in this race didn't look like he had the confidence and the pace to stick with some of the top guys, but when it mattered, he went for the move, he saved the battery, and Raxi is going to take the win here today. He's got 1 corner left to go. Newt has got past Ben Mills right at the death as well, and through Parabolica for the final time in this race. Raxi heads up to the line and wins here in fzrracingleague Monza. Venzi comes home in P2, but we're going to have to wait and see what happens in the stewards room. Chris's Pilakaris P3, Dom P4, fzrracingleague P5, vojtazluva P6, Ben Mills P7, and of course Venzi will hopefully be reinstated back into P2. We'll have to see the outcome of that one in the stewards room. P8 is going to be for Nanu. Rick Van Bocco, I think, is going to come home in P10 here with his 3-second time penalty. It's going to be Massacrator in P9, Alex Lansdale in P11, and Brian Potts is going to come home in the final points place.